Welcome to the 2021 Capitol Officials Association Baseball COVID Adoptions presentation. I'm your host, Greg Stanley. The special rule adoptions due to COVID will be outlined in this presentation. Field adjustments are as follows. The dugouts can be extended to allow for social distancing. However, they must be away from home plate in accordance with NFHS rules code. If they extend the dugout inside the fence, then it must be marked off with chalk or paint to denote dead ball area. Bleachers may be used as necessary, and as umpires, we should not address this or make a big deal about this unless we deem a safety issue is at hand. The umpire expectations. Umpires must wear a face covering, a mask, or a gaiter. Discipline actions will occur if a picture or video evidence is presented to Ron of an umpire without a face covering. Umpires can handle baseballs. We should do it as little as possible, but we can. So plate guys, continue to have your ball bag with you throughout the game. Umpires cannot handle other game equipment, bats, catcher's helmet, etc. So leave that alone, but it is okay to have a ball bag, and we handle balls as normal. The pregame conference with coaches. We need to maintain social distancing as best as possible. The head coach must attend, and he is the only one to attend. And we'll continue to accept home lineup first, followed by visitor lineup, go through ground rules, play introductions, national anthem protocol, but make sure we're maintaining social distance as best as possible. The coach expectations. All coaches must wear face covering. We issue a warning the first time. We restrict them to the dugout the second time. Head coaches shall approach the middle of respective foul line for any discussion with an umpire. So that's continuing the rule change from a few years ago. Assistant coaches cannot approach an umpire for any discussion. Player expectations. All players must wear a face covering. It must be a single solid color. A warning on first offense. We relegate them to the dugout for the second offense using the substitution process. So that will count as a substitution per NFHS rules code. If it's a starter and they are eligible for re-entry, they may re-enter assuming they choose to wear their face mask properly. And then we will eject or restrict to the dugout from the third offense, and that's treated as a DQ. That is not one that we have to write an ejection report on, but we must contact Ron and let him know that it occurred. The pitcher is the only exception. He does not have to wear a mask while pitching, but does during conferences and all other times while not pitching. If a pitcher wears a mask while pitching, it cannot be white. And again, a pitcher must wear a face covering during a defensive conference. A mask or a gaiter is sufficient. Players can pick up other equipment, bats, catcher's helmets, etc. Continuing with player expectations. If a player is having difficulty breathing, they can be replaced by a legal substitute, but it will not count as a substitute. And Ron and I have discussed it is okay if the same person runs for multiple people within one inning, as long as it is a legal substitute. So again, this is all about a safety issue. We understand that some coaches may try to skirt the rule with the loophole. Don't touch that. With this being a safety issue, if they say a player is having difficulty breathing and they need to be removed to the dugout, let it go. Make sure it's a legal substitute. If there are no legal substitutes available, then we can go to the previous batter who is not on base, similar to what we would do if an injury had occurred. Right. Players cannot leave the dugout area to congratulate teammates after scoring. Players must stay off the mound during a conference. So a defensive conference, pitcher is on the mound, coach is on the mound, all other infielders must stay off the mound during that conference. Pitchers cannot lick their fingers. They may have a wet rag in their back pocket. If they want to use that, that's fine. They cannot lick their fingers. When we see that immediate dead ball, that ball is removed to be sanitized. The pitcher must sanitize his hand, and any umpire can make that call. Now, in closing, please complete the attestation form at the link in the description box below to affirm you have watched this presentation. Failure to watch this presentation and complete the attestation form will result in Ron pulling your schedule until this requirement is met.